Welcome back to Janice Rose Creations. I'm going to continue with the painting of As Above and So Below. I have So Below off to the side. There it is. Okay. Since my last recording, I put 3 layers of matte varnish. I don't know if you can see that. There's the matte on each canvas to seal in what had already been done. And here is the gloss finish that I use at the very end, and thereby making all my paintings completely sealed. Nothing can be altered, and you can touch the canvases, which I like. I've been to art shows where I've had canvases on display, and people would come up and they would touch it and they'd go, "Is that acrylic or oil?" I go, "It's acrylic." And they go, they could not tell the difference when you get done. So it's a multi-layer process, and as you can see, I've poured paint with an unusual painting tool, my pitchfork, and I just spread the poured paint around. Now, I also want to demonstrate when you do the gloss, the glaze, the Veritine, what do you call it? The sealer, anyway, you can buy the kind they have in the store, but I've been having a real difficult time getting into art supply stores right now, and they've just opened Michael's in my area, and I haven't gone there yet. But as always, I sketch on in chalk, and I'm just kind of hand wiping off the residue of the chalk. We don't want that sealed in there. So when you're doing the sealing, the matte finish or the gloss finish, always do it the same as you do when you're doing your sky and background. You do it in straight brush strokes across in one direction only, and making sure that it's all covered. And then you let it dry in between, and then you go back and do a second layer, and then a third layer. And I did that on both of these. So I just wanted to demonstrate that. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to show you is that here's my palette, and I like to keep the palette for, even though it's not usable, if I'm going to get back to it the next day, I cover it with plastic, and hopefully it won't dry out. But as you can see, this is all dried out. But I keep it because it's got the colors so that I can duplicate them in case for any reason I wanted those colors. Okay, like, so this was the brown that I used for the tree. I used brown and I used black. And like I showed you with that pitchfork, I swirled them together to create a bark effect. Now, I've been looking at a lot of trees in my area, and I've noticed that some of the root system looks like it's above ground before it goes underground. So we need to now, or I need to create a thin cover over these roots, so that when you put the other painting up against it, it'll look like they're continuing from the up above. So see, these 3 are these 3 here. So I've got to also bring this one and this one into this painting here. So as you can see, I have my favorite brush, my fan brush, and it's Simply Brushes number 2. It's a fan brush, and I love this brush. I love the effects it gives. You can do it this way and make spiky lines this way, or do it this way. So what I'm gonna do now is create grass covering over these roots, but in such a way that you can still see the roots, that they're going into the ground. And then I'll probably continue the grass across, okay? And that'll be in my foreground. So I'm gonna get started with, I have arbor green. And I think I'm going to use a new palette. So I have another kind of palette here. Because I think I'm going to use this green not only for the grass, but for the, and I have limeade again. I don't know if I want to go with the limeade yet. I'll think on that one. That's Laguna. Kelly green. Kelly green would be good. Always kind of shake your paints up. And if they get too thick, you can always add water to them. Yeah, Kelly green is like a regular grass looking green. Okay, and let me show you those two colors on my new little palette. Okay, and ready to go. So I just, oh, I like this. See how the fan brush gives it a grassy effect? And you just put the paint on the very tip of the brush. Okay, and I'm going to do something what's called dry brushing. So there's a little bit of paint on it, but you want to move the paint around on the canvas. Yeah, I am going on the edge, and there's a reason for that. You want it to have the effect of it not ending at the edge of the canvas. So you want to sometimes go under. And I'm kind of letting it trail off a little bit on this side of the canvas so it looks more natural, so it doesn't look like, oh, you know, straight grass all around, because that's not how grass grows. You know, you'll have patches of dirt. So this is enough grass around the tree actually to hide the roots enough, but gives you that illusion of where they're coming from. Okay, now like I said, I would like to okay, remember I have the 2 water cups, one for the initial to get the paint off, and then the second one, and I forgot to put soap in the second one. All right, and now I'm going to add a little bit of I want to make like a sandy color, so I'm going to put that over here in the paint tray. Don't want a lot. So this is ready to dry. And then the next phase on this would be to be putting the foliage on the trees. Okay, that's it for the grass. I'm quite happy with that. All right, what I'd like to go and do next is put the background for the trees, for the leaves on the trees, and then I'm going to hand paint in other leaves on top. So for today, I'm just doing like with the sponge, just some background greens on the trees, and then I'm going to hand paint in individual leaves. So this gives it the effect of foliage. Notice I put both greens on the sponge and just dabbed it on lightly. And you don't want to overdo it. That's plenty of leaves for this tree. I love it the way it is right now. So that's the as above portion. And now I'm going to switch canvases. Let this one dry. And then off camera I will put the varnish. So there we go. Now, oh, where did I put that tray? Okay. So, I wasn't able to find all the chains that I wanted, but this was all I could come across in a short period of time. And the way this technique works, I'm going to put paint in this tray, and then I'm going to dip these things in here, and hopefully I won't screw this up too badly. And then you just lay these on the canvas. And then as you pull them off, it creates these lines. So hopefully this will work, okay? I tried this one other time. Oh, this chain's already breaking. So that one, I'm gonna have to find a way to find more chains. And I'm hoping this paint works. Okay, this is one of my favorite paints. I've used it a million times, and I hope when I'm able to go back to the paint stores I can find it. I don't even know where I bought it, but it's like a bronze color, and it's a metallic bronze. The actual name of it is Elegant Finish Metallic Glaze, Renaissance Brown. And I think I might have bought it at Michael's. And I've got about a third of a jar left of it. So it is my favorite, and I do use it a lot, and I try and use it sparingly. But I love the effect. So let's hope this works today. Let's start with the biggest one I've got. And you basically dip the chain in the paint. Now, the people that I was watching that were doing this were doing it with a poured paint. I'm thinking I might want, well, I already have black. I might put silver. That might work too. Where did I put that fan brush? Okay, so this is where dry brushing would work with the fan brush as well. Well, I decided that that chain wasn't really giving me the effect that I wanted. So I'm back to the fan brush with just the plain gold nail polish, and I'm keeping the bronze on there because I like the contrast of the two. The problem with the nail polish is that it's a little fast drying compared to the acrylic paint. So I have to work a little faster. But I'm trying to create the effect of a root system. So I like the bronze on there, and I'm thinking of sponging some more of it in there. Told you, this is my favorite brush. Yeah, I like the bronze. It gives it the effect of the dirt, and the gold kind of highlights the roots so that you can see them. All right, I think that's going to be good. I hope I can get this nail polish off this favorite brush of mine, or else I'll be really upset. So that's where I'm going to let it stand for today. And when I come back to it the next time, we'll do some finishing touches, and that'll be the end. Thank you all for liking, subscribing, sharing, looking on my Facebook, and I think I even have it on YouTube now. I don't know. And following. That's on Instagram, right? All right, thank you. Bye.